In this lesson, we'll break apart 10 problem-solving questions that are similar to the kinds of things you'll see on your exam. Some of them will involve many steps, some will be basic, but of course time is a factor. All right, we're going to reduce a board by 30%. Since the answers are in inches, let's convert 5 feet times 12 to 60 inches. And obviously A is not the answer because we're reducing it. So times 0.30, 18 inches, not an answer choice. Problem solving, you try one way, you try another. 60 inches times, well, if 30% doesn't work, how about the other side of the coin, times 0.70? Yeah, 42 inches, B. Okay, that one's probably one of the simpler ones you might see. Now you might be able to imagine all this. 2 large boxes, each one has 12 medium, each of those has 2 small. That's kind of hard to do all in your head. I think you'd have to sketch it out, picture it. Now this is just inside one of the large boxes. So I guess the white space is the large box. And we've got 12 medium. In each one there are 2 small. So we know there's one large. We're inside the box there, I guess. For the medium, that's pretty basic, 12. And for the small, that's 12 times 2 for 24. So 24 plus 12 plus 1 is 37. And that's one of the answers. But this is just in one large box, so times 2, right? This illustrates what's inside one of the large boxes, which has 12 medium and 24 small. So times 2 is 74. So a lot of them will have that little extra wrinkle. If you go too fast, you think, oh, I got it done. I actually had it half done. A lot of boxes. Okay, an increasing and decreasing harvest. It's basically like a stock investment. Market goes up by 8, drops by 5, but then it goes up by 4. Are you ahead of where you started? Definitely. Because when it goes up by 8 and only comes down a little bit, you're ahead of where you started. All right, now what do I mean by 0.1 or 1.08? We could do it in 2 steps, 100,000 times 0.08, add it back. But you can do it in 1 step if it's just 1 point, the percentage. You're going to have 1, all of what you had, plus another 8%. So 100,000. Like I say, that could be dollars in a stock account. 108,000. Now, when it drops by 5, we could say times 0.05. Okay, now go back, 108 minus that. Or we could just be clever and say we're going to have times 0.95 of what we had, which is, like I say, still ahead of 100,000. So we go up, a little bit of a setback, but overall we're still up. And, you know, if you have 4 answer choices, you know you're greater than 100,000. Even here, especially when we're going to multiply it by 1.04 this time, and that's the answer. So way ahead of where we started, even though it's not up every year. All right, now this one takes some patience. We're painting 2 bedrooms of different dimensions. How much paint should we buy? So we got a 15 by 12 and a 12 by 10 room. Ceilings are 8 feet tall. And this is 12 by 10, also 8 feet tall. It kind of looks like we're doing a volume problem, But no, we're not filling the room with paint. We're painting 4 walls and the ceiling, not the floor. Right. So for the ceiling, we have 15 by 12. It's 180. And then we have a 15 by 8. And a 12 by 8, 2 of them for the walls. Over here, the ceiling is 120 feet, 12 by 10. And then we have 2 12 by 8 walls and 2 10 by 8. So do some combining, 160. These are 120. Hey, these two become 240. So 180 plus 240 plus 96 plus 96 plus 120 plus 96 plus 96 plus 160 equals 1,084 square feet. How much paint should we buy? One can covers 300, so divided by 300. 3.6 cans. We're going to have to round that up to 4 cans of paint. Quite a few steps, but it might get away from you a little bit, but just remain confident. We're definitely doing 4 walls and a ceiling. I have the dimensions. I just have to get the square footage and add it up, and then divide by 300. Okay, we're walking. We pass our turn by 2 blocks. How many blocks did you walk? Well, let's see. Start from here, go to the corner store. We go up 1, 2, 3, and we were supposed to turn, but we go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Basic algebra, 2 people leaving, going at different speeds. One of them stops, so it's kind of the tortoise and the hare. So one goes 60, the other goes 75, but stops for 12 minutes. Who gets there first, and by how much? So this one goes a steady 60 miles per hour. Okay. So I go 75 at or divided by 60, and that's 1.25, which is not an hour and 25 minutes. It's an hour and a quarter. It's 75 minutes then. The other one goes faster but stops for gas. Well, if you're going 75 miles at 75 miles per hour, that's an hour, right? But you got to add 12. So it becomes 72, but he still wins. Yeah. So it's the worker who stopped for gas by 3 minutes, right? Yeah. Boom. For every person infected by a virus who comes into contact with others, 5 more are infected. Therefore, in 5 rounds of such transmissions, the total number of infected persons would be what? Well, the way I would read that is 1 infects 5, and that's the first round. What am I making a dollar sign for first? All right, so yeah, 1 infects 5, and then they each infect 5. So The first round is 1 infects 5. Second round is times 5. Third round is times 5. Fourth round is times 5. And the fifth round is times 5. 3, 1, 2, 5. 3, 1, 2, 6. Oh yeah, the first person is still infected. 3, 1, 2, 6. You can see how that would go up pretty quickly though to keep multiplying by 5. All right, we're doing some landscaping. We're going to build some triangular borders for a flower bed. Two of the sides are 5 feet. How long is the hypotenuse, really? This is the Pythagorean theorem. All right, 5 feet, 5 feet. How long is the long side? This one's 5. This one's 5. What is that? Well, 5 squared is 25. And 5 squared is 25. So 50 equals c squared. What do I do with that? I find the square root of 50. 50 times the square root, or find the square root, is about 7 feet. 5, 5, and the long side is going to be about 7. Now, if you had to guess, you knew it wasn't 5. Probably wasn't that much longer, 9, So when you're taking a test and they're giving you 4 answers, always use those to your advantage. It can't be the same. Can't be 5. It's probably more than 6, but not as much as 9, Problem solving, just getting it done in a reasonable amount of time. So this is similar to the boxes. We got this allocated to that. 7 shelving units with 4 shelves each. So I got 28 shelves. And each one has 22 compact discs. And then here's the wrinkle. How many are displayed on the odd numbered shelves? Ooh, all right. 22 CDs per shelf. Yep. So that's 1 unit. And we want to know about the odd numbers. You could probably just count on your fingers too. Or for the video, I wanted to have shelves. All right, so we have 28 shelves, and as you would figure, there are probably going to be 14 odd numbers, right? Yeah, since each one has 2. All right, so we have 14 shelves times 22 discs. 14 times 22, 308. All right, and this is pretty much like the grain farmer, except it would be like making withdrawals from the silo, I guess. We're taking 20,000 out each year, but the account is growing at the same time at different rates. So we're withdrawing 10% of where we start, so that's quite a bit. All right, so we got 200,000. And it grows by 5%, so times 1.05. And then minus $20,000 at the end of the year, down to 190. So that's kind of nice. You can take out 20, but we're only down by 10. And then it grows by 3. So times 1.03 for the year, minus, again, 20,000. And the answer is we're at 175,700. All right, there are quite a bit of other types of problems that they can ask, but after a while you realize they all have to do with arithmetic. So once you figure out what you have to do to set it up. It's just some addition and some multiplication, maybe. Maybe it's a percentage, which is a form of multiplication, etc. So they're really testing sharpness and your ability to solve a problem in a reasonable amount of time successfully, watching out for a few little tricks and wrinkles as we saw.